And with that, we have also where you can go online and your votes count 16% right now of the player of the years, and between offense, defense, and also just the player of the year in the area.
And also coach of the year. And we're going to list them off for you right now. In our offensive player of the year categories, guys, we got some good ones. Brandon Littlejohn out of Burns, over 1,800 yards passing, 27 touchdowns on the year. Reggie Williams out of Bessemer City. Don't have any stats on him right now, but he kind of ran that offense, guys. You guys want to know anything about Reggie you want to add? Or Kevin Jeter from Forest View as well.
Yeah, I mean, Jeter pretty much was their workhorse this year, running the ball, keeping them with a good ground attack. And I mean, like I said, pretty much, the man that helped them get to that 9-2 record and, number 2 seed in state playoffs. So you can't knock that. I mean, especially when you're workhorse back, out there running it.
So 3 good ones on offense. On defense, we have Richie Williams. Again, he's, like we said, he's kind of their workhorse on both sides of the ball, a great two-way player. From Lincoln, guys, in Lincoln County, get your votes out for Michael Cunningham. At one point, I believe he had 3 interceptions in consecutive games. He's had numerous fumble recoveries and caused different fumbles. So look for him. Also from East Lincoln, we've got Matt Fortenberry, who is just all over the place for the Mustangs. One of their top leading tacklers, causes fumbles, big physical guy. So those are your guys for defense to pick from. The coach of the year, we've got Matt Bean from Burns, his first year. We want to congratulate Coach Bean for making the state playoffs, as well as fighting Shelby for the conference title. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Coach Bean you have to really admire him about is, I mean, his team started off pretty much 0-5, playing that tough schedule. I mean, that team, could have easily melded in on him and said, you know what, sorry, Coach, but we're 0-5, we're pretty much done. And he kept that team together and, let them know, coach them, said, look, there's a reason why we're playing the schedule, this and that, and, turned it around and now has them in the state playoffs, ready to make a run, hopefully, deep into the state playoffs.
So it's kind of been the philosophy here at Lincoln, play that tough non-conference schedule.
What, South Point, Shelby? Right there is just 2.
Seems like every year.
Yeah, every year.
You got Maiden, rival, Moving on, we got Mike Bias at East Lincoln. 2 years in a row, he's undefeated in the conference. Chris Medlin and Larry Boone at Vesper City. Those are all coaches you can go for. This is just a great list of different players from all different parts of the county. Blake Presley of Burns, quarterback there. Just huge numbers in that conference, which is Shelby and just a ton of talent in that conference. Josh Wilson at East Lincoln. It's been kind of their Mr. Do-It-All. Leads the league in receiving, backup quarterback. He can be a tailback, take off. His teammate, Preston Perry, who's the lead passer in the Southern Piedmont Conference.
He's really impressive.
He led the league and led that offense. From Westlink, we have Devin Travis, led the Southern Piedmont League in rushing. Is just a big physical back. Thaddeus Bittman, another big physical back from East Gaston, and East Gaston moved to that different conference. Xavier Logan from Bessemer City, and everybody talks about their defense guys, but Xavier Logan just took that team on his own. And of course, you got to mention Josh Justice from South Point. He's been there a while. He's used to doing this, and so those are your players of the year, Scott.
All right, guys. Next up is my favorite part is I'm sitting on top after a last 10-0 prediction. So anybody needs any, help picking games, just listen what I'm picking, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
These two. Well, let's just go on to the piece.
Not so fast, my friend. Let the record show I've been on top for all 6 or 7 weeks, however long we've been doing this. And one fluke week by our friend here, David, is not going to convince you.
It's only been one person to go 10-0 all year.
Wrong. Michael went 10-0.
Oh.
Thank you very
I
much.
don't remember that. Strike that record. Strike that record. Objection, Your Honor. I think that was a misconstrued pick.
I think that's when you picked off Cat.
Whatever. He didn't go perfect that week.
I've been perfect all year.
All right, guys. But to get serious, first up we have Avery versus Bessemer City. Any trouble for Tech there?
They had a great tune-up game, if you want to call it that, against Lincoln. Great defensive game. So obviously, if you can hold Lincoln to a close game, then you're doing something right, and it's a home game. They kind of be there. What do you guys think?
They've got a monster defensive line. Bessemer City's huge on defense. I think Bessemer City doesn't have much of a problem with Avery myself.
Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, that defense will take control of this game and keep Avery from looking to do too much. And
they can score. Bessemer City can score when they want to.
Oh yeah, I mean they should have a chance this game, to get that offense rolling and get ready, for next week's game. This is a 1AA in the West bracket where Bessemer City's at. So also we have moving on. In the West of the 2A bracket, we have Lincoln, Maiden at Lincoln. So Maiden coming here to Lincoln. I know how you're going.
Well, I'll pick Lincoln, but Maiden's got a good team. You never know who's going to show up, though. That's the only problem with Maiden. You know that yourself. You might have a real good game one week and look like the next week, but I'm going to pick Lincoln, of course.
He's got a very good point. First meeting they had this year, I believe, was 21-13. It was a close game. I believe Lincoln had to have a key second half to come back and finish the Blue Devils off. For Maiden, it's going to run the Johnson brothers. They're not brothers, but I like to call them brothers. The quarterback and running back going to have that big game. For Lincoln, I like their defense. Jalen Littlejohn's playing high. We talked about, guys. Lost my name. Michael Cunningham, Michael Dellinger.
Mike Dellinger. You got D Littlejohn running the ball good.
Exactly. I like Lincoln in a closer game.
Yeah, I would say 3 points, maybe something like that.
I'll take Lincoln with them being at home also.
The outstanding record at home too, by the way.
Oh, that's
What's
right.
That, 16 in a row.
Running good points, 16 in a row, and they're averaging 36 points, I believe it is, at home in the playoffs, while allowing only 13. So that's another big key thing to look for, guys.
Yes, it is. And next week they'll be looking at that big showdown with Winston-Salem Carver also. So
let's not think about that.
So, all right. Next up, we have Ashe County at East Lincoln. I know you kind of touched on that a little bit. I mean,
yeah, just go ahead and mark East Lincoln down as a win. I don't see them having any problems. I think this is, if you will, a tune-up game, but they've been on an 8-game win streak. Their offense is averaging, I believe, at least 24 points in those games. Their defense has only allowed 14 points since September 28, guys, in that 8-game win streak. No more than 14 points. So, pretty easy win for East.
Oh, yeah. East's got plenty of speed, plenty of talent, and I don't see it. I say East Lincoln rolls. I hate to, but East Lincoln rolls.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be my upset special yet, so I'm taking East Lincoln also. Also in the 2AA playoffs, we have Monroe Piedmont versus Newton Conover to defend the state champion. Any problems for the defending state champion here?
People think that Newton Conover could just breeze through the playoffs. They had that great run this season. Bandy's kind of put a little scare into them, and I think that Piedmont will as well. This is a game that Newton Conover controls their own destiny, in my opinion, and I think it'll be a closer game than people think, but Newton Conover wins.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be a lot closer than people think, but yeah, I think Newton Conover can hold it off and pull out the win.
Yeah, I believe Newton Conover will win this one, and we look to set up that return matchup against Bandy's coming up. Next up, Bandy's at South Iredale traveling to Bandy's.